Encore. 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 Encore.
Winner in the full contest between France, partner, France. Finish competition for lead and Judo. Germany scores 4 points. Competition wrap up to number 3 again.
Prossima fine avvisa presente nel controllo di moto. Prossima fine avvisa presente nel controllo di moto.
Of all the ways of winning in the Olympic sport of judo, the most visually spectacular is by throwing your opponent flat on his back with impetus. This scores ippon, the equivalent of a knockout in boxing, and ends the contest. However, if your opponent manages to twist in mid-air and prevent their back from hitting the mat, you may still achieve one of the smaller scores, yuko, wazari, or koka. But the contest still continues. Like the great goal scorers in football, the great judo throwers are revered in their sport. And like the great goals, great throws are long remembered by all that saw them. In this programme, we have brought together 101 great throws, many of them by the biggest names in the recent history of the sport. Most of the throws score ippon, but occasionally we have included lesser scores if either a difficult technique is attempted or a dramatic escape is achieved. Commentating for us are two of the best exponents of the sport that Britain has produced. Neil Adams, the 1981 World Judo Champion, and his great rival and compatriot, Chris Bowles.
Neil Adams and Chris Bowles.
Our 101 throws begin with Neil's last competition in Britain, where Chris Bowles takes up the commentary.
Here we have Neil Adams in the red, Gary Plattman in the white. And there he goes, lovely Uchimata for 10 points, fantastic technique. Good win for Neil. See how Neil dominates with that sleeve grip, turning him right over. Fantastic technique. I think Neil's got his work cut out with this one. Granville, a very awkward judo player, very difficult to beat. Strong with his grips and has got good counters. There goes Neil's Taitoshi. Yoko Tomoe. I don't believe that. He's thrown him for 10 points. That's an incredible win for Neil. And here we can see how Neil attacking with the Taitoshi. Granville very awkward in defense there. In goes the Yoko Tomoe. And my, does he fly. Look at that. Fantastic 10-point win for Neil Adams. Yeah, Neil in the white belt, Lenonen of Finland in the red. Very strong with that sleeve grip. Looks as if he got him well tied up. Good Kosoto twitch. And a fantastic score for Neil. There he goes into the slow motion. See how he's dominating with that sleeve grip again. Turns his opponent brilliantly straight on his back. And the referee's given a wazari score. Neil's still working hard. Captured that sleeve grip again. Seems to be dominating fairly well. In with the Taitoshi, fantastic technique. Turns him over for a good score. There you can see how Neil very fast on his feet. Takes his opponent down for a brilliant score. Good control. And you can see how quickly Neil follows up into a newaza situation. Brilliant judo. And joining me in the commentary box, Neil Adams.
Well, Zimbara of Italy, I was just about to say she's a handful, but she's right on her back, Chris, for a superb ippon, Yoko Wakari. And we'll watch it again in slow motion. And Hughes fighting very hard for the grips.
Very fast with that turn now, wasn't she?
Well, it's not quite in for a Sianagi attack. Ooh. She falls flat and spins her opponent flat on her back for ippon. Paul Shields standing up, preferably. Emperor Finland attacks with Harai.
Oh, magnificent technique.
Taniotoshi, Chris, straight onto his back.
Magnificent 10 points.
So it was actually a Haragoshi attempt by the Finn.
There he goes.
Brilliantly counter-attacked by Paul Shields, flat on his back.
Magnificent stuff.
Weidenbach of Holland. He's got a strong Ouchi. There it is.
Hopping in.
Ashiguruma, Chris, on the edge.
Absolutely stunning technique. Fantastic stuff.
Well, I said he's got an Ouchigari. He sticks the Ouchigari in after the Ashiwaza. So it's Ashiwaza, Ouchigari.
Uchimata attempt. Straight across for the Ashiguruma.
And his foot still in the red area. So good ippon there by Weidenbach. Aliari of Italy being spun round by Gonzalez, Chris.
In no control. Got to try something on the edge there. There it goes.
Oh, well, brilliant technique. It was a whirlwind technique. He actually twirls the Italian round. I don't think the Italian really knows where he is.
Actually, 2 full circles there, Neil.
2 full
Straight
circles.
onto the edge.
He's got the Yamarashi grip, and then right on the edge. He said that he had to attack sooner or later, otherwise he'd have been off the edge. And the hips go across.
Feet still in.
Well, he started in, and a brilliant score.
Weidenbach looking a little bit under pressure there, complaining about the,
well,
the
Gonzalez has
one-sided
got
grip.
the Yamarashi grip.
Oh!
Well, is it off? It's a good throw. We'll watch it again, Chris. It's on the edge, so he's got that Yamarashi grip again.
Spinning him round. Weidenbach just about to start to complain about the grip. Here he goes.
And again, it's near the edge. He likes to attack near the edge, Gonzalez, but the hips go across and straight over onto his back. Weidenbach.
Looked in.
Dennis Stewart drops in, Aggie on Mion. Straight over the top, Chris. That's
Big 10 points.
A lovely left Cianagi there. Mion stood up straight, and Dennis Stewart just dropped right between his legs and straight over onto his back.
Brilliant turn as well, Neil. Fantastic turn.
Well, I don't think the Frenchman can really believe it, Chris.
No, Dennis Stewart well pleased with that result.
So Boffin attacks with a pickup, but she gets countered.
In all sorts of trouble there.
Well, she goes in for the pickup. Emick just latches on with the leg and straight onto her back. I thought Ippon.
Very, very close indeed.
Ray Stevens looking for his favourite grip.
Looks very powerful
Kosoto.
indeed.
Oh, lovely counter attack there, Chris. Kosoto Gary.
Into what looked like Ashiguruma.
It's Ashiguruma or Haragoshi. The difference, of course, being that Ashiguruma a bit lower. So fantastic Ashiguruma there by Ray Stevens. See it again. Kosoto, Ashiguruma flat on his back.
Fantastic score for Ray.
Well, Ray Stevens certainly got his handful here, Chris.
Double handful.
Oh!
There he goes.
I said he'd got his handful. Spike is just kind of lifted up into the air, dive for his legs.
See the way he's actually putting him flat on his back there, Neil, for 10
And then
points.
a Koichi Gary, Chris, he just swept the leg away. Flat on his back, Ray Stevens. Watch it again. Jumps up into the air, dives for the legs, picks Ray up first, and of course Ray braces first of all.
Can't actually keep hold of it.
And then sweeps the leg away. What a superb
good 10
ippon.
points.
Rendell already a Wazari up in this match.
Looking very strong, Neil.
And she's picked up Goose of Belgium. Flat on her back there. Wazari Awazeti Ippon.
Good Teguruma.
Well, she was a Wazari up. She needed a Wazari or an Ippon. Goosen's managed to get a hand down there, Chris, but on her back. And Wazari Wazeti Ippon for yet another British Open title.
Very strong performance.
And we stay with the same throw, Teguruma, for the British Open of the following year.
So Fitzroy Davis, I'm looking for his grip.
Very composed at the moment.
The pickup, there's the pickup!
Oh! What a lovely score.
Well, he kind of changed that, didn't he? From Teguruma to Tsurigoshi, and
The changing hip. Switches him onto his hip.
straight
over.
onto his back. I don't think there's any mistake. Ippon.
Fantastic score.
Most people train at 7 o'clock in the evening, and that's when they tend to turn it all on.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas the competition...
Oh, good Uchimata
good
there.
Uchimata.
A definite Ippon score there from Weidenbeck. So with 37 seconds on the clock, that was a good Uchimata to finish the English boy off. Weidenbeck the winner. I think Karen wants to throw her, really.
Yeah, that's right. I think she'll sort of gain confidence, and she's looking very
Well, I
steady.
think Powell, you know, probably a little bit out of it.
Oh, beautiful Shianagi.
A
Oh,
left
magnificent.
Sadisuru Kamigoshi there, and Ippon on pal. It's a lovely technique, Chris, isn't it? So switch of sides there, and another ippon scored.
John O'Brien, please come to control there.
There's that very low taitoshi there that she does. And she actually does that from an underarm grip and controls the arm when she does it. So she kind of pushes across. She doesn't go under the arm.
There it is again.
There it is.
Brilliant score.
Great score there. Yuko scored from Karen Briggs. That very low taitoshi, and also Komi call. She
What a polished
has looked
performance there.
absolutely unbelievable all day. There's nobody come anywhere near to Karen Briggs. I think that our lads tend to come out a little bit cold.
I think that is a really big point, actually, and you see a lot of our guys just standing on the...
Oh, and a belter there!
What a magnificent...
That was one of the best techniques that we've seen so far from Finney. And same technique, I mean, Ko Soto there, and there's no doubt that that was a definite ippon from Carl Finney.
The twitch. What a
that was the
beautiful
twitch, and,
score.
That was what we all wanted to see. Sharon Lee getting her hand right the way over the top there, Chris.
Oh, a little bit careful. This German goes very, very fast.
Well, it's all one-handed. Oh, ippon! So the West German throws Sharon Lee. It's a one-handed attack. You said she had to be a bit careful, Chris.
Yeah, very, very powerful. Look at that grip she's got.
Well, it's one-handed, but she's got control of the shoulder, and Oso Tagari
her down.
flat on her back. Straight in there for the attack with the Yoko Tomonagi, and I mean, he threw the Korean Ann, who was Olympic champion at under 71 kilos, gone up to 78 for the Seoul Olympics, and he threw him. Oh, and there's a fantastic takedown, side takedown there by Latz.
Wazari scored.
Wazari scored. And it's also Komi called.
Very impressive.
Oh, it's a good Uchimata.
Ippon. Oh, what a score.
Well, what a fantastic
What a
Uchimata. A Wazari up. A Wazari and a Yuko up. And I don't think there's any doubt that the Swiss player actually threw him with Uchimata
Absolute cracker.
Well, that's a sad exit for Terry Watt, but I suppose if you're going to go, that's one way to go, isn't it? Well, the Finn's got a Shido there for pulling Richard West down without actually attacking. Do you think that was just, Chris?
I think that may have been just a little bit harsh, but
I think so.
as we said before, I think the Finn's pretty desperate to get him into Newaza, but definitely running
Well, it's a
out
good
of time.
Tomonagi there.
Good score.
A good score. Wazari score.
And the arm locked on.
Yeah, a good score and a good follow-up into Newaza there by Richard West.
Very positive performance, I think, by Richard.
Should be quite a lively contest, Chris.
It should be, yeah.
Adzed is actually...
Stamped
Oh,
his
it's a good
mark. Really
Uchimata
good
there.
Uchimata.
Oh, terrific Uchimata there by Adzed. He actually didn't connect the first time, Chris, but the second time he certainly connected, didn't he?
That was a lovely technique.
The nice technique, and Inman was straight over the top for Ippon. Again, Chris, the arm slipped over the back.
That's
and,
right, yeah.
Oh, and there's a good Tiguruma attack there. Well, I'm very surprised they're not going to give a score. He's having a problem today, condition-wise, isn't he? I mean, he's not exactly fighting top-class competition, Dio.
No, that's right. He's not looking his best.
Oh, there's a
what
fantastic Uranagi there from Dio. Well, was Ari given there by one of the line judges, but they settled for Yuko, so he's got a Yuko and a Koka on the board.
A pretty poor attack there by Moore. I think Billy's actually got his player well under control. He's got both sides there.
Oh, good Sunegash there by Billy Cusack, and a good Yuko scored there. Notice the way he was pulling the arm across. I mean, it was on the cards that he was going to actually attempt Sunegash from there. Yeah, they fight each other a lot, these boys, as well. So, I mean, it's not as though it's the first time they've ever come to grips with each other. You know, it's too. What a brilliant drop down, Cianagi there from Ravenscroft. I mean, Cusack was coming forward all the time. You're obviously going to leave yourself open, but a brilliant attack there, and he's been throwing them like that all day, Chris.
Absolutely incredible. I must admit, he seems out on his legs, and he's still manages to pull off
Well, I mean, he pulled
a
that one out of
technique
the
like
blue, and all credit to him. It was a fantastic technique, you know, and it's only a minor pulling of the hands, I think, that saved the perfect throw. Well, Buffon of France certainly won't like that arm coming over the top, Chris.
A very dominating grip.
Oh, but she's underneath. Oh, goshy! Ippon scored. Well, I said she won't like the arm coming over the top, and
she's made the best use of it. Look, hips right inside there, and over for a big
textbook
score.
Stuff. Oh! Well, that was an Ippon there an Ippon by De Croo there, but I don't know if I really believe it. What about you, Chris?
Definitely not.
I
thought that was...
I don't think it was quite as good as the one that I did on you with the demonstration. Loretta's going to have to be a bit careful when she sends that arm over the top, because that's when she's leaving herself open.
That's right, Neil. She's yet to make her mark on the contest, but
Well,
Loretta seems to have taken hold.
There's
There
the
it
time,
is. There it is. It's in.
Well,
Judo scored.
well there.
Two
Wazari scored. Well, she has superb control with this Yoko Tominagi, Chris, with her feet.
Fantastic stuff now.
I know Lee, Chris, and he's just a young lad, up and coming, and he's got quite good condition, but I think he might have his hands full with Dave.
Yeah, I think so. Dave looks on quite good form today.
Well, he's in good form, and of course he's experienced, so it accounts for a lot. Well, that was
What a technique.
fantastic Ujimata there by Dave Southby. Like I said, she's the one that they're all aiming for. And I think Deliage will have to watch out for a Tiguruma attack.
Oh,
It was a good counter-attack there from Rendell. Yuko scored.
She's so fast with that thing, isn't she?
It's one of the problems with attacking with something that you don't really believe, isn't it? And of course, Rendell took complete advantage of that.
Yeah.
If it suddenly decides he wants to throw him, you know, then he's certainly capable at any time of doing it, you know, and it all depends on the way Elvis feels.
Like you say, Neil, he's got to be switched on, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's the position.
Yo!
There it was.
Magnificent.
We knew he was waiting for it, Chris, and a brilliant,
Even King's applauding.
brilliant Tiguruma taking Trevor King down. Ian King, should I say. And well, it was an Uranegi into a kind of a Tanio Tosh, really, I suppose you could call it, but brilliant takedown there, and a win for Elvis.
Magnificent. What a throw.
So Elvis Gordon, world silver medalist, European openweight champion.
He looks geared up for it, Neil, doesn't he?
Yet another.
There he goes again. Ippon.
Well, and Ippon scored. Drops Cianagi.
No question.
In the opening seconds.
What a blinder.
11 seconds into the contest, a drop Cianagi takes the Icelander over, flat onto his back for an Ippon score.
Elvis Gordon was also in good form in the men's open category of the 1989 World Championships.
So, a Makakomi by Elvis Gordon on the Belgian fighter, and a lovely technique there, straight on his back, and I think he's still recovering. That's it. Well, Wazari, I thought. Oranagi Ippon! Praderol of France, finding it difficult to get hold of his Chinese opponent.
Very strong with that grip, Neil, isn't he?
Well, left-handed, he's got a pick up. Oh, Ippon!
No question about that one.
Well, I said he had a job to get hold of him. He didn't do then. Let's watch it again. He's got that grip, Chris. He goes between the legs, picks his opponent up, and then sweeps the outside leg away.
No question
Flat on his
that.
back. Ingrid Bergmans, 5 times world champion, and one of the greatest lady competitors of all time. And there's the Tiguruma attack, yes! It's a brilliant attack there by Ingrid Bergmans, straight over the top. Her hand went between the legs, she picked her opponent up and put her straight onto her back for a fantastic Tiguruma. Bergmans yet again dominating.
Looking very powerful, Neil. Good strong
very
grip.
Strong right-handed grip, Chris.
Doesn't looking too much.
But it's right against left. Oh! So counter-attack there, lovely counter-attack as well. The girl started to turn in left, and Ingrid Bergmans just steps right across.
Great experience, Neil.
Straight away onto her back. The backy now looks, to me, to be a little tired. And there's the attack. And there's the pick-up again. And I suspect it was Ippon. There it was. It was a good pick-up. He took him directly back. I said how dangerous it was, but as soon as he latches onto the leg, it's such a dangerous technique. And Kubaki could do nothing about it whatsoever. He was taken backwards. It was Awazeti Ippon, 2 Wazaris, and an Ippon scored. Wazari and a Coca down. There's the Tiguruma! Oh, what a technique by Robert van der Waal. Tiguruma pickup, flat on his back. And Salgado is thrown by the old man of the tournament, Robert van der Waal. There it was. It was always threatening. You have to take your hat off to Catherine Arnoux. She threatened time and time again. She was a Yuko down, and she piled on the pressure, and the Spanish girl cracked. Shozako of Japan finding this tall Swiss boy very, very awkward.
It's breaking your...
Oh, kata!
Toshi.
Well, classic stuff there, Chris. It was a beautiful attack, wasn't it? It was classical stuff.
What a fantastic entry. The way he steps across here.
Like a skip and a jump,
Brilliant.
Right the way over the top. Not quite an Ippon because he over-rotated.
Of France in the red belt. Only just over 2 minutes to go now, and he's certainly got his work cut out.
Italian's definitely ahead. He came off the wrong side.
The wrong side. You can't... He'd come off the wrong side of the body, Neil.
It was a beautiful technique. I wonder if the referee knows that if you come off the wrong side, you can't score Ippon for it. So we have a tough character with Kim. So, well, you can't moan at that. That was a superb technique. It was so quick. He stuck the leg across, took Vinegar over. Onto his side, it was Wazari Awazeti Ippon. And Kim certainly had the measure of Frank Vinegar. Well, I can see this Mongolian going all the way. He's really very, very awkward, Chris.
Look at that!
Oh, Ippon! Uchimata on the edge, but marked in. I said he was very, very awkward. Very cool and
Powerful. Look at that.
Uchimata,
Great entry. Brilliant turn.
flat on his back, Ippon.
First finalist in the category under 72 kilograms.
Well, one feels that the Korean is actually setting his opponent up for the big attack. Foley, of course, realises, well, there it was as well. So, what a beautiful technique that was. Oso Tagari, the first technique that the Korean actually did. And there it is. Well, it was always on the cards. He got the resistance and a superb Oso Tagari flat on his back. Can't be the Korean. Well, I don't know whose that is. Can't be the Korean. Well, I agree. I thought it was the Russians. We're into the last minute. Anything can happen in the last minute, especially when you've got somebody like Yamamoto. There's no coming back from that. Yamamoto, two Wazaris and a Yuko by the Mongolian, and the Mongolian took him apart. Zari. Well, there's a tremendous Uranagi pickup. A tremendous score there by Sosna. He was just waiting for the right moment, and the Uranagi attack, the pickup attack came, landed straight on his back for a good Ippon. Well, Wazare to Lee. That was brilliant. Chris, that was a brilliant counter-attack, wasn't it?
It was.
He waited for the Korean to try and pick him up, and then he just countered him back. So Goa, as I first suspected would happen, is starting to look a little bit more agitated. He'll start taking the fight to rush one and hopefully pile up the attacks. Well, there it is. Oh, a beautiful switch there. That's what was always lurking in the dark corner. He attacked with the big ones maybe 5 or 6 times, and Rush One had them well taped. He didn't have any problems with the Taitoshi or the Uchimata. He switched to the Koso to Taniotosh, and Rush One was straight over onto his back. So a beautiful technique there by Ogawa. I was saying how relatively new they are onto the women's judo scene since the inclusion of the Olympic Games. Judo
cracking
Games.
side,
Well, Wazari there scored by the Chinese girl. That was judo against pickup. Judo was the winner there. Wazari scored.
Stylish Ouchigari there by the Korean. And she takes it for a Wazari. For the Canadian. With it all to do. High toss of Hungary in the red belt against Chang Soo Lee of the People's Republic of Korea. Well, who's your choice for here, Chris?
Chang Soo Lee. I can't really see, well, I might be wrong, but Aitos is... Oh, there we go! What a prediction!
Well, that didn't last very long. I think if you have a look at the clock, that lasted 13 seconds from start to finish.
2 minutes left. She's got 2 minutes left on the clock to become world champion.
She's been world champion before, Rangel. That was a nice technique.
And the turnover, marked in, Wazari scored.
That was a lovely counter-attack, that's what we were talking about, Chris.
Yeah, she's an expert at that, and it's really paid off.
Tveriev of the Soviet Union in the red belt versus Machida of Japan in the white belt in his first semi-final match. And he's taken the Japanese over. What a beautiful technique that was. And again he's come in for the technique. Well, one judge gave for Wazari. Yuko given in the end. Tveriev today looks in a class of his own. This Japanese fighter is really in a different class, really. There, well, front somersaults as well. I mean, what can you say about techniques like that? One-handed front somersault throws the Nigerian over. He has a tremendous shoulder throw, extremely fast. He is too. Well, he's turning for the shoulder throw, changed direction, Ouchigari back. It was just such a skillful move. This brilliant Japanese fighter be in contention, I'm sure. Oh, two judoka par excellence. Oh, he's done it again! Wow, goodness me, I don't think I've ever seen a technique like it. That's the throw of the tournament. Koga through Chang Soo Lee, who looked in a class of his own as well, with the most tremendous Maroti Sianagi. And he's in his first world final. The Korean accepts that because there's no doubting who won that one.
The power, the grace and the beauty of judo are probably best seen in slow motion.
stone has really got to start to ouchi-gari there. It was a nice ouchi. Oh, beautiful technique. Left ouchi-gari. He got the resistance and a wonderful technique there. Full point, nice stone thrown for Ippon. So strong right-handed grip by Kalis. And a good Uchimata attempt. Well, was Ari given? So double,
like 10 points to me.
Double stab there. He starts with his leg on the outside, Chris, and then hops it into the centre.
Yo! No, perhaps it was Ari. Good score though.
Okay, Howie coming out looking very confident.
Yeah, she's certainly on good form.
Very confident, Chris.
Oh,
there's a drop
lovely drop,
Seonagi. Ippon
No
scored.
question.
And 5 seconds gone on the clock. Well, I said she looked confident. She certainly knew what she was doing there. Right away underneath. Flat on her back. Foulet of France. Fighting for a grip. Going towards the edge, Chris.
Yeah, she's good strong grip. Lovely attack. Right on the edge.
Well, they nearly went into the other mat there. It was a lovely drop down Seonagi. She wrapped her up really very, very tightly.
Good control here. Fast entry.
It was almost a double stab, wasn't it?
Yep.
And then a good turn. Flat on her back.
Nice and tight.
Muhammad Ali.
Good strong grip.
Oh! Sota Makakomi there. Ippon given.
Yeah, no question about that one.
So the arm goes right the way over her opponent's shoulder and latches on with the leg. Straight down and Ippon given. Uchimata attempt there by Dave Southby.
Looking very strong with his
It's
grip.
extreme left against extreme right, Chris, so he can't get the sleeve, and that's his problem.
Yeah, very, very awkward. And he goes, oh lovely
counter-attack. So he latched on with the leg there and took his opponent backwards. Watches out, there's the foot caught behind the knee.
Lovely technique.
Change of direction.
In judo, counter-attacks like that one often produce the most spectacular throws. This is Gabi Ritschel of West Germany in the European Championships.
She was third in the World Championships in 1982, Gabi Ritschel, and second in the European Championships in 85. Oh, good counter-attack. Well, Wazari scored. Polish girl attacked and she took her backwards. Who's your money on here, Chris?
I'm afraid I have to go for the Russian, Neil. Although the Czechoslovakian boy is very, very awkward. Extreme left-hander.
Uchimata! Beautiful! What a technique!
At least I said the Russian. Blinding
Believ
technique.
then, with one of the throws of the tournament. Brilliant Uchimata. Through to the final, yet again. 1 minute left in this contest. Uchimata! Ippon scored. Well, I thought it was a generous score. I thought it was Ari, but again, Li Xin pulls it out the bag. Minute and a half gone. No score. Whoa! Brilliant Taitoshi there. Well, I said he was extreme left. He was extreme left for one half of the contest, and then he changed to right. Beautiful Taitoshi for Ippon. Kozaratov, Soviet Union. 2 Kokas and a Yuko up. Oh! Go Sotogari there on the left. Lovely technique. Superb technique.
So, good ippon score there. There he goes, right-handed, ippon.
Good technique.
Well, first attack, and he scores ippon. Lovely right-handed Maruti Tsunagi.
Just under 30 to go. And I can't really see Haitos making too much of an impression. Not actually got hold of each other.
Yes, ippon! Ippon!
Yes.
Lovely technique there by Haitos.
Eating my words.
Well,
Well
throw
deserved.
right over the top.
Here we go. 500 points for that one.
Well, it always threatens. Beautiful pick-up. Take-a-roomer attack. Flat on his back for a bump.
It's definitely on the cards, Daniel.
Pushing forward all the time, Chris, isn't he? You know, that's the way he trains as well. He trains exactly like
Yes.
that. Pick up.
Oh, Ippon! A great pick-up.
Lovely pick-up by Bruno Carabetta. Tiguruma, and Carabetta is in the final against the East German.
Glorious technique.
He's threatened it, but my goodness me, did he take that opportunity well. Tanio Toshi takedown, and there was no doubting that that was probably worth 20 points. So we saw Karen Briggs respond to the pressure. Can Novak come back? Hip throw in the middle! Superb Ushirigoshi there, straight onto her back for Ippon.
Next step up of number 1. Next fight on next 1.
Well, Trenu was quite fortunate earlier on in the competition because he was thrown what could have easily been an Ippon by somebody from Greece. He actually changed it to a Wazari and then he threw for Ippon.
Oh, yes! What a score! What a fantastic score!
Ushirigoshi again, straight away over the top. Ippon scored. So then Spikers many times fought Denzine White. Denzine, I thought, a little bit unlucky to lose against him in the World Championships. Denzine caught. Oh, Datsunagi! Beautiful technique there. So quick, Spikers. Shido for the Spanish fighter. Lorenzo now has to do something. Yes! Yuko! It's got to be a Yuko. Oh, 200 is given. Amazing. Well, I didn't think it was worth an Ippon, but definitely a good score. Superb. Yoko Tomonagi and the winner, Lorenzo of Spain. So a really tough match here. The Turkish fighter really
Hasn't really got his grip so far. He has now!
Under.
Left Cianagi and straight over the top. Was Harry given?
Beautiful entry. Great turn. Wazari scored.
The Weidenbach of Holland in blue, not really making any impression on this very strong Romanian. Interesting, Chris, I don't know if you've noticed the Romanian flag, but they've cut the centre out of the Romanian flag. Ippon! Well, the Romanian, that was a lovely Uchimata to the left. Massive hit throw there, Chris. Well, that's certainly got the crowd going anyway. About that big man doing Yoko Tamanagi or straight over the top. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. Ippon. So Tomanagi, stomach throw there. Zach of Hungary.
Well, she did exactly the same.
But the West Germans is bad, you know. I feel that if one gets penalised, then they both should get penalised. Chris, one of the... I was just about to say, she's one of the few of the heavier weights that stands up to do technique. That Yushirigoshi there took the Russian right away over the top.
He seems very confident. He seems to be lining his opponents up. There he goes.
That must mean he's going to attack.
Yeah, he does. In. Ippon.
Oh, change to Ippon. That was a lovely technique, Chris, wasn't it?
Yep.
Ochigari gripped the leg and bang onto his back for Ippon.
Just under 2 minutes left on the clock. So she keeps herself composed. Oh!
Uchimata!
Beautiful score!
Beautiful! Left Uchimata. Awazeti Ippon. Now he's got the belt. Can he do anything from that?
Yeah!
Yes, he can!
What a blinder! Absolutely buried.
Well, as soon as he had the belt, that was it.
Good to see a decent bit of judo. Here he comes. Good pickup! Must be a score. Yuko scored. One corner judge wanted to give Wazari, but the Yuko stands. Both players have fought hard all day to get to this position. So I think it's going to be quite a tight contest. Oh, lovely attack, beautiful, magnificent. Oh. What a
brilliant technique that was, Chris.
Lovely.
Years of age. Brilliant. He's clipped on again, Chris. That's it.
Oh, there he goes.
Hip on. Brilliant.
Twice it was hip on, but
well, maybe it was early, but even so, clearly the winner. Variev of the Soviet Union wins the under 78 kilos for his 4th time. Was Ari then straight away to Briggs. Stabler of Switzerland, extremely tough opponent, so that just tells you the abilities of Briggs. There's an oh, Tikuruma! What a fantastic technique. Straight away onto her back. Brilliant stuff. Briggs, supreme.
Nächster Kampf von Runde 1, next fight on mat 1.
He thought he'd done it for 10 then, Chris. He thought it was the full one, but Calabetta did very well to turn out then.
fantastic foot sweep.